as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Ready, blue wave. Mike 50, yeah. 3 bucks.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep, and that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hatchet. He's coming. We got double up.
Winston looking downfield for Godwin. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Check three. Check the backer.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Cameron Jordan racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
On third down, Love. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Winston being chased out left. Looking downfield for... He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is Kamara. Kamara's got the first down and then some. And finally, he is out of bounds, but not before taking it down near the 15. A big play there out of Kamara. 45 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. From the gun, Love. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. What's good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Winston. That is caught. It's Perriman. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Check.
Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Ready. Blue ready. 53. Mike. Defense wins championships, baby. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Working out of the gun. Winston. Looking downfield for Godwin. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 29-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, let's go. Hey, watch the lane. Wide. Get wide. Check. Hot route. Hot. 51 the mic, boy. 51. Watch the fly. Flip it. White. Check. Go.
To throw, Winston. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Robert Quinn, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. We got 4. 51, Mike 51. You better bring it. You better. I'm letting you know. Where do we go?
Jameis to throw it. And he's going to go down again. Marcus Davenport, the 1st rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long.
Watch the twist. Follow.
Now Winston. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. It wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
On first down, Love. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And let's see, the Bucs with 6 DBs, so a dime set here on 3rd down.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
Off the play fake. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play-action sack. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Marcus Williams.
I know some teams are leery about playing cover 2 because the strong safety's not usually a terrific cover guy. But in this case, he played it perfectly. Read the football and went and made the interception.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That good for 19 and a first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work. But when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises. And he's running with terrific ability right now.
10 Tucson. Give the 50. Check my 50. I know he ain't got it.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. Kamara's got the first down and then some. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 14-0.
Makes the score Saints 14, Buccaneers 0.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. From the 31, Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Winston now. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here's Bird to return. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, New Orleans. DJ Chark, 85 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 42. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Love. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Back to throw. Love. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On second down, Kamara. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Hey. 4 down. Hayward.
2nd and 9 now. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Second and 10 at the 20-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Red! 60, orange. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. All you give him a headache. All you give him a headache. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4.
2nd and 3. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Looking to throw. Love. It's complete to Hopkins. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Out of his end zone, Winston. And his throw here's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop. Check 3. Check 3. Green, come see. Hey, watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Switch up. Go. 54.
They'll throw again from their own end zone. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. Out of the pistol, the give to Jones. And some room to run now. It's a foot race. He's at the 40, 20, 10. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, 85 yards. And the Bucs are able to cut in now to that deficit. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Love. He finds Hopkins complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
From the gun on 3rd down. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin White in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 18. 12 yards on the return that time, and that will come the offense as they take over. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball to cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely in their favor. Now they got to keep things cranking, keep it on high so they can keep cutting into that lead.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing. Winston. Pass incomplete.
Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate, except if you're playing on defense, because they picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back foot. Pressure coming, just chucking it downfield. He can't do that right now.
No, you can't do that at all. And I think one of the hardest things for a guy having a day like this one is to find a way to just kind of get out of it, kind of get yourself back to move.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Love out of the backfield. That's complete to Kamara. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Running with Kamara. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Ready. 54, check, walk 54, walk 54. Charlie, come on here, go get some.
From the gun on 3rd down. Love to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The kick by Lutz is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Winston. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready? Go away! 50! 30! You got nothing. 50's the mic. 50's the mic.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Winston. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Love. Throw caught here by Bird. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Come on.
From the gun on 3rd down. Love. Oh, he's going to go for it all. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Operating from the gun. Love. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. DJ Chark, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. To throw again on second down, Winston. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play.
And Winston lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. The 20, 10, and he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. This will be taken short. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 12, Winston, blitz coming, and down he goes. Marcus Davenport able to drop in that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Cameron Jordan, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now it's Bird on the return. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt, and the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because
he's got daylight past the 20, 10, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it out past the 35.
At their own 37-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
From the 39, Winston. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. He's coming. Double up, double up.
Winston to throw for it on 4. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Talvin Smith. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that, plus 3.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. They'll run. This is Kamara. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for New Orleans, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.